So
I'm
I'm
Elliott.
Elliott. I'm 22.
I'm a performer.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is Elliott Coleman, and this is Elliott Barrington. Born into female bodies they felt they didn't belong to, they are both transgender. This means that their gender expression differs from the sex they were assigned at birth. Born with she and her pronouns, they now go by the pronouns he and him. Elliott Barrington has undergone surgery, giving him the male body that he's always wanted. Elliott Coleman is planning on doing the same, having just come out as trans.
I don't know if I hated myself. I think I just was so dissociated from my body and who I was.
I felt like I was fake all the time. Like, you always get told, like, you know, oh, just be yourself, be authentic, be real. It's the only thing you ever have to do in life. And I'm here like, oh yeah, I know that. I can't, but I know. So I felt like I was constantly like lying to people.
Yeah, like when I was a child, whenever I had like some sort of wishing stone or like a crinkled chip that meant you could make a wish or something where I could make a wish, it was always like, I wish I could wake up as a boy. And it's just like, no one ever thought anything of that. And I never thought anything of that until like 10 years later. I was like, what? That was very like direct.
It just made me so happy when someone would go like, dude, or bro, or he, or him, or sir, or anything like that. Like, I felt like so happy about it that like when someone then addressed me as like a girl, I was like, oh my God, that's, ugh.
Growing up and then going to high school, and all of a sudden there's like things that, like, ways that I'm expected to present and like dress like as like a girl in society or whatever. And so then I had to like start to actually conform to those things a little bit more, and that's when it became uncomfortable. And like going through puberty, I guess, was uncomfortable. I just thought it was uncomfortable for everyone. I think it is, but like in a different way that I didn't maybe realize until later.
Really, like, it's very different for each person, because for me it's like I can look at myself in the mirror and I look at like the body parts I have and it just doesn't look right. Like, when I go throughout my day, I don't remember the fact that like I have boobs. Like, but then I look in my mirror and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Like, I just doesn't connect in my brain that like that should be there. So when I see it, it gives me really bad like emotional distress.
Like when I was questioning it in the past, like in high school, I was like, well, I've always liked video games. I've always liked what my brothers liked. That must mean I'm trans. But like, not necessarily, I guess, because like anyone can like those things. I don't know. It was just kind of a separate thing that I happened to be trans on top of that.
Trying to project like, oh, okay, if I'm masculine and I'm a girl, I have to be a lesbian. Didn't even like girls. So then that was a whole another point of confusion. Was, oh shit, I still like guys. Maybe I'm just a masculine straight girl. No.
I always heard people say like gender is a social construct, which kind of annoyed me in the past when people would say that, because it's like, well, gender is real, and saying something's a social construct makes you think it's not real.
I wish I was more maybe firm with it when I was in high school or something like that, because I didn't have a teenage experience. I didn't get to do anything because I was so deeply uncomfortable with myself that I've never dated anyone. I never did any of this stuff because I wasn't comfortable with any of it, because no one actually ever saw me as who I was.
Or it seems like you'd wake up from surgery and be like, oh my gosh, like, it's me, everything's great, this feels great. But like, I woke up from surgery and I was like, okay, it's normal. Like, it didn't feel like anything amazing. It was just like, okay, this is it. This is how it's supposed to be. Like, it wasn't dramatic, which was interesting and makes sense, I guess.
It's very hard to like kind of put it actually into words, because yeah, you just kind of know. You can't really like, if someone asks like, well, how do you even know what being a guy feels like? It's like, I don't know. Like, how do you know, what can you really label to me right now what you feel like being in your gender right now that you were assigned in as birth? Like, can you really name that to me right now, why you feel that way? Like, you know, it's like, you just kind of know.